Hi, it's Peggy at Portraits by Peggy, and I'm super excited to have a guest with me today, and we are going to talk about swollen, bloated, and puffy. So, I'm so happy to have you with me, Kathleen. You're not only the author of this amazing book, but you're also a certified lymphedema therapist, right?
Yes, I am.
So we just had a great 25 minute video really directed to people with lymphedema. Now, lymphedema is when your lymphatic system doesn't work properly and you swell. But the fun thing about what you do is not only do you get to help people with lymphedema, but just a regular person that's having problems with bloating, with puffiness in their hands, their abdomen, their face, you can kind of fix that as well. It's kind of what we call superficial. If you have lymphedema, you're like, oh, you're just doing that to be vain. But we all like to look good. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of actors and a lot of models that watch my blog, and I know that that's always an issue. They're like, oh my God, my eyes are baggy, or this is going on, or this is going on. So talk to us about what you can do for people that are swollen, bloated, and puffy.
Okay, my name's Kathleen Lisson, and I am a certified lymphedema therapist. I'm also a board certified massage therapist. I practice in San Diego, California, and I help clients with lymphedema. I also do pre and post plastic surgery, manual lymphatic drainage treatments. So I help people after facelifts, revision facelifts, neck lifts. I've done abdominoplasties and the complete mommy makeovers and liposuction. So I have a lot of experience with reducing swelling and puffiness after the surgery. And then, but I wanted to put in my book some tips that are not only good for people after their plastic surgery, but with regular everyday swelling and puffiness. And the first thing a lot of people see in the morning, and the first thing I see in the morning if I haven't had enough sleep or I've had a sushi or salty food, is those puffy eyes, just the puffiness right here in the eyes and the face area. And so I talk about a lot of these cures, so I'll go over them really quickly, and then if you grab a copy of the book, you can look at it.
Now, I will have a link where you can get a hold of her book. She also has a daily podcast where she talks about this. So that's, awesome to get into.
Thank you. Okay, so the first thing that you can use, that I use a lot, I cover on page 21 of the book, and that's a face mask. So I actually keep it in the fridge, and I use it about twice a week. So I'll go out to I'll look at myself in the mirror in the bathroom and see how puffy I am, and then I'll go out to the kitchen and start cooking breakfast for my husband. And as I'm, grabbing the eggs out, I'll just grab this mask and put it over my face. So about 1 or 2 times a week, my husband is greeted by
a scary lady in a mask woman.
He's like, oh, okay.
Now you also say you can do that with cucumbers in the refrigerator too, right?
Yes. So that's another thing you can do if you had a little more time. What I like about the face mask is I can cook. It has eye holes, so I can cook and do everything, and it only takes 5 or 10 minutes, and for me it gets that swelling down. You can also use, if you are standing in front of the mirror and in your beauty routine, there's jade rollers or there's ice face rollers, which I mentioned in the book, and you can get those off of Amazon. So you keep those in the freezer, the ice roller, and then you can actually roll it over your face. And I find, I live in San Diego, so when I exercise in the morning and then I have to take a shower and get ready to go see clients, that my face sweats a lot. And I have really good capillaries there, so my face is all red and it's sweaty, and I need to be able to put my SPF on and makeup on. So I use that face ice roller, and it cools the skin down enough so I'm not sweating through foundation. So that's a really good tip too, especially if it gets hot in the area. And then we were talking about the cucumbers over the eyes. That's a really good thing that they do in spas that actually has a benefit. It's been shown to be of a benefit. And then San Diego, a lifestyle blogger, she runs the Skinny Confidential. Her name is Lauren Everts Bostic. She got married to Mr. Bostic. So she had to deal with facial swelling. She had actually had double jaw surgery, so she's had to deal with facial swelling from when she was a teenager into now. So she donated a really great tip to my book, which is she takes a spoon and she puts it in ice water to make it really cold, and then she'll put tea bags around the spoon and then hold them to her eyes, so she gets the benefit, the like astringent benefit of the tea, and also the spoon itself is cold, and you can control it, so the second like you feel you're getting frozen out, you can just take it off your face. Yeah. Nice. So those are some things that you can do in the morning with the swelling and the puffy face that you can fit right into the beauty routine. Or if you want to be crazy like me, just like show up in the morning to your husband cooking the eggs with your face mask. That's what I do.
So before you come to get your headshots taken, make sure your eyes aren't puffy, and make sure, I always have a tip that I send them, and one of the things is, drink a lot of water, make sure that you get a good night's sleep, because, people come rolling in and they're like, it's like, oh, wow, thanks. I'm supposed to fix this?
Yeah.
So, these are good tips that you can fix before you come see me.
Yeah, so it really is. So what you see, like the alcohol's effect, if they have sushi, you're entitled, like just this, it's salt from the soy sauce, we think, that just really bloats everything up. So like just a simple diet the night before, right, to make you look better. And if you have the self-awareness, like every time you're puffy in the morning, like if you have to keep a diary, just remember what you ate last night and like don't eat that.
If you're doing
night before a job interview or a photo shoot or
if you're a model or an actor and you've got a big shoot the next day, you don't want to be going on to set, So if you kind of keep track, hey, you know what? Every time I eat blah blah blah, the next day I have problems. So you just know, okay, so I'm not doing anything Sunday, so Saturday I can eat that. Today I can't eat that, and you just kind of, make your sacrifices that way, so you kind of get to know your body and know what to do.
Wonderful.
Yay. Yeah. Well, this is exciting, and I've got a link to her information. This is, obviously, you help people with lymphedema, which is serious edema, serious swelling, but you also have great tips for just the average person. And so what about bloating? One more question, I'm sorry, but what if you wake up and you're like, man, my pants aren't fitting today? Do you have any tips for us?
There's actually, I did some research into it, and it has a lot to do with diet and a lot to do, more than you'd think it would do, with how we actually eat. So a lot of like Americans are so serious about like eating in the car, eating standing up, and just sometimes we eat like we're 5 years old. Sometimes we eat like every meal is Halloween. We have to like get all the candy into our mouth now before actually chewing and swallowing.
I'm a fast eater, and I always get, chew your food. It's a big deal.
So some people, if you can go to the other extreme where people will tell you like chew 20 times and then swallow it. That's a little much for me, because then it really is liquid in your mouth. But just focus on how much are you chewing the food before you swallow it. And if it's like the absolute minimum before it can go down, you're also getting water, you're also getting air in there, which is going to be bloating. And then your body actually has a tougher time digesting it, because the beginning of digestion is the saliva, and there's actually enzymes in your saliva that start digesting the food. And if you push it through the whole system too fast, it ends up with bloating. So what I like to say, not to interrupt you, if you take the bite of food and then you put your fork down, instead of like taking a bite of food and like as you're chewing, make the next bite, like it just take 5 minutes to eat your food.
Yeah. So how important are probiotics?
I think they're important. I take them. I take probiotics and prebiotics. I like to use my food as a probiotic. I don't have a lot of medical education on nutrition. So I would defer to someone who had more knowledge. But what I have seen is that very little of them actually get through all the hydrochloric acid in the stomach. So it has to be something that's proven to work. Yeah. because you can't just, it's not like a quick fix. I know here in America we all want
Everybody
the pill
wants the microwave
that
and
will
the
cure the pill that will cure everything, and I think it's diet and it's drinking a proper amount of water.
So here's I think something that I thought a long time ago, now it's been a long time, but I thought, well, if I drink water I'm going to swell up. That's totally not
absolutely it. Yeah,
it's opposite.
It's not. Yeah, and it actually is
the
opposite.
more water you drink, the less you swell, because your body is able to dilute everything and get rid of the waters.
And even more important, if you're an actor or a model, is that you can see what it does to your skin. If you're dehydrated, your skin is dehydrated, and then you're not looking as good on camera. So you want to have that 8 to 10, whatever works for you, that amount of water every day.
I'm a big believer in drinking water, because I can see it in people's skin. I can, just out in public, I'm like, wow, they ever drink a glass of water?
Yes.
Because you can see, you can see it, the dehydration in their skin. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
And if you guys are interested, you can go onto my YouTube channel and check out our long video where we talk about lymphedema and all the other things. But check out her podcast, grab a copy of her book, and I'll see you guys next week. Make sure that if you haven't already, go to YouTube, subscribe, share this with everyone you know, and leave me comments. All right, I'll see you next week.